Good morning. This is Clark Neighbors with BIS Commodities with the market recap for the week ending February 28th, 2020. Kind of a freak out February, leap year. One of the stranger weeks this last week of February I can remember in the market, just in the impact of the macro side of the market. World economic issues due to coronavirus, well noted. I'll throw you some statistics on that in a little bit, but here's where we are for the past week on some commodities. And I would urge to note that the grains in specific performed rather admirably considering some of the other markets. So for the week, corn was down approximately 3%. Wheat down 5%, beans off 2%. Now on the livestock, cattle and hogs were both down 9 and 8% respectively. Gold and silver was down, 10 to 11%. Energies are off 15% for the week due to just, wrecking of demand of energy because of what's going on in China and transportation slowing issues. And the stock market down a little over 12% for the week. I believe the largest one-week break since the recession back in 2008. So the Wall Street Journal had some interesting little stats this morning and put in perspective how important China is to the world economy, which is kind of the driving force of the pause in this market. Shipping container volume for the month of February in the port of Los Angeles, was the main port for Chinese imports, was down 25%. There's over 200,000 flights in China canceled in the past month. China's vehicle sales for the month of February down 92%. So you can see things are slow or in a pause in China. And the impact that has in a way to the U.S. economy, U.S. companies. Apple, for example, gets about 15% of all their revenue out of China. Procter & Gamble has 17,000 products they rely on for materials from China. 85% of the world's toys are manufactured in China. I think it was reported yesterday that Amazon took thousands and thousands of products off of their list based on the availability of those products. So all said and done, the market is kind of in this pause mode. Markets don't like uncertainty. There's plenty of uncertainty with the coronavirus and impacts it has on world movement and demand. So the world's kind of on a pause right now from a demand perspective. So the question going forward is past. When does China get past these concerns? Or to maybe if we go further down the road, maybe other parts of the world are going to see more issues with this. But as we know right now, the main focus is in China because that's where the vast majority of these cases are, even though we will see some growth, it sounds, in other parts of the world. Once we get past those concerns, can we see an impact on demand, especially into China, for proteins and energies especially? We just got the phase one deal put together like 5 days before this issue took place. So that's kind of a side note right now. The last thing I would leave you, and there's not much else to talk about this week because coronavirus is the driving force, and this market's very oversold. Don't care if you're talking about the cattle market, Dow Jones, etc. Be careful not to try to bottom pick these markets. It's like trying to catch a falling knife. I think the market would like to see some stability, see some consolidation, and once we see that, I think there'll be more calming factors in this market. So the bottom line, patience and poise are definitely what's needed in these kind of markets. So if you have any questions, feel free to call us at BIS Commodities. Phone number is 800-373-2525. Catch us on the web at biscommodities.com. With that, have a great weekend and enjoy your extra day of February.